Let me just get into that right quick while it's on my mind before we get too deep off into the donation flyers. Okay. On the screen for everybody, does it say, do you see the flyer? Or is it still showing a divine warning?
I see the flyer.
On the flyer.
Leave a Society Land Project. Okay. So let's kind of get into that since that's the way we were on. So this essentially, wait, where's the other page? Here we go. Okay, I was making sure that's the back. Okay. So the members that are in Cali, Khalifa territory, we'll make sure we give, we'll get some physical copies of what we're about to get into right now. Our members that are not in Cali, we'll get this email to you what we're about to get into right now. Before we get into it, a quick summary. It's going to be a summarized version of what the whole purpose of the person, friends, family, whoever, why they're donating, why they want to donate to Khalifa Society for the purpose of us getting land. On the back, the QR code. We talked about the log last week. We'll talk about it again this week as well to do a recap. Khalifa Society Land Project. We as Khalifa Society nonprofit civic organization are searching for land to put into Khalifa Society's community land trust in order to benefit its members of the community. Our vision is to gather finances to purchase land through various forms of contributions such as donations, fundraisers, etc. The next phase will be developing energy efficient homes with community areas such as gardens and a temple for a community to gather. Thank you for your contribution to our vision toward the affordable housing project for the Moorish communities in California. This land will be stewarded by the indigenous people for generations to come, and your donation has brought us that much closer to ourselves and nature. Thank you wholeheartedly. Islam. How to stay updated on the developments. We got the Instagram. We have Zoom meetings every Sunday. Just send us your email. Your contribution matters. Contact information on the bottom. Flip to the back. It'll be two-sided, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you said.
Okay, it'll be two-sided. So this will be just one instrument. Ways to donate. When they're donating, please write in the memo land trust donation. If you can get their name, that'll be helpful too. Because remember, when we're doing the our back office, it's gonna match your logs. So if you're saying you got $100 and they scan with the Venmo or the Cash App or the Zelle or the PayPal, you put that. We're gonna get that, and then that's $100 that goes towards that counts towards your contribution towards the $83 a month. It was pretty laid out. Um, this is what was summarized. Of course, if you got a rapport with the people that's in your face, I mean, you can kind of verbalize something too, of course, but this is pretty much laid out for them. They can read that, or you can read it out loud to them. You got options. Any thoughts on what? I want to hear some thoughts on that before I move forward. The floor is open.
I like it, Marvin. It looks good, man. I think that's perfect, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, do you guys feel that the vision that we drew up, do you feel that it aligns with what was said? And like how when we're talking to people, if they were to read this, they'd be able to see clearly what the vision is and what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I believe it's a good peek in the window of what we're doing for sure. And if if they ask any more questions, they could come to the Zoom or in the social media. I think it covers all the bases.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank you for your feedback.
no problem. Islam.
You got something, Another?
Oh no, I'm just in agreement with everyone. It's direct. It's everything is the information is really clear. It's given a mission, and it's given our mission statement, so you don't have to go too detailed into any detailed questions because we're directing them right to our Zoom and information that they may want to you know look more into before donating. So it's very, very, very good job, guys. That looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's well put together as well. Very effective and nice and sweet. And like she says, if they want more, there's information to seek more. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's really nice how you guys put it together. I think it'll be very effective. How you?
Mhm.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna be giving these out. So I printed people that are in California, I printed them out and I laminated it. So anytime you guys want to talk to anybody, you literally can just hand it to them and just reuse it every time. That way you just have it in hand wherever you're at. If you want to talk to people, and you can just have them read it and you can explain it to them while they're reading it. Um, that way they can just get a clear vision of where they're putting their energy towards. So yeah, and then we're gonna go over the Excel log and then also the fundraiser log, just so we're all kind of clear. I put some examples up so we can kind of see like how to fill that out. And then yeah, then we'll just start moving along.
You know
So
what?
I got a question. So I see that y'all have the QR code on the paper, right? Now,
Mhm.
just like the Empress was saying, like, say someone want to donate, right? They might want to see like Moth do like say talk about something. So like, could one of those QR codes be like Moth giving them a basic like fundamental introduction to what it is that Morris Science is? You know what I'm saying? I know I can tell them, but me telling them is more so me like pitching them more so than them seeing the Grand Sheik say something. You know what I mean? Like it could be just a short little 30-second little video or something with the Moore flag hanging in the back and Mob talk, talk his talk a little bit just to kind of ease them in. And that maybe will help with them maybe joining Zoom and
Mhm.
possibly becoming a member. Because yes, we can recruit people, but us on the street doing missionary work is more like in the eyes of them, we looking like we hustling or you know what I'm saying, we pitching them or whatever, because there's people always in the street doing that type of thing. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I was just putting it out there as a suggestion. If y'all already have the QR code set up, that's fine. But I was just putting that out there. That might be a good idea to just have like a little video clip like how Moff do on Instagram. He do something with the QR code just to say a few words to kind of captivate the person or whatever the case may be, along with us doing the missionary work. But I'm not, trying to speak no bad juju, but sometimes when you introduce yourself, you and your job or whatever, and you start saying things, it's more like y'all feel what I'm saying? It's more like you trying to solicit, even though you trying to wake up the people in my soul and in my heart and everybody else who would do that missionary work. It's a different feeling. But to the people looking at us, you know what I'm saying? They might look at us like the rest of these uh how can I say people out here that do those type of things in the street. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
try to get people to get their bread up. You know what I'm saying? I was just putting that out there. I mean, y'all think that's a good idea or what?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yes,
think
yes.
that's a great idea to just have that on the also on the flyer. Put an extra QR code, like you said, and have the video attached to it. So that way you're like, oh, if you want to, meet the Grand Sheik and, see what the mission's about and, what more science is, you guys can scan this, watch it for like 5 minutes. So you get like a better idea, read over the mission statement. I feel like that's really good. It makes it more like they connect more. So that's what it is that when we're going out to talk to people, they want to be able to connect and like see themselves too.
Islam, I think that's exactly what I was going to say, brother. I'm glad you mentioned that. My comment was going to be, yeah, I think maybe like a little mini commercial, a little mini video, a little mini insight on with that so that people can say, can kind of really, really see the mission. You know what I'm saying, Mafi? So, yeah, a little mini commercial would be
Mhm.
kind of really more effective for people
Mhm.
to respond to. Um, yeah, yeah, good. That's so I in agreement with Brother Ben. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Islam.
Wow.
Okay, then yeah, we'll do that and we'll add the QR code and then we'll show the video probably when you think we can get it done.
Yeah.
Like the Sheik always say, every time we do this is always divine. You see how that came together?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, this is part of the building though. This is what's gonna help everyone collectively be able to make this happen. That's what we need, like people to come together and to think together to make it even better.
So today's the second.
Just between now and the first, I guess, right?
We got something done this week.
Okay. So maybe by the next temple meeting, we'll have the QR code on there and you guys can see the video.
Mhm.
And then that way,
We use that. We'll just use that in general. We're gonna do. It's gonna be one anyway. We had planned on doing one anyway, just to publicize it that it exists. Attach a link to it. Um, so that could be the same demonstration for the actual QR code too. It'll be two birds with one stone. So we'll have that in the next couple of days this week, and we'll add that to the what we just showed y'all previously. And yeah, just I guess when y'all talking to the people, direct them to that link. Like that's what that link's about. Help y'all get better acclimated. Uh, what else? Any other thoughts outside of that?
I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like that puts a cherry on the top.
Okay. Brother, brother Ade, did you have any questions about anything? Okay, I think he's still trying to figure out how to work it. I can tell he's still trying to figure it out. It's like a little mic. I think it's on the bottom left.
Yeah, it should be next to like the video,
Mhm.
the audio and say video. Is there the one with the example on them? Okay, can you go to the first page? Please? No, not that.
If he taps the screen, the icons on the phone should appear at the bottom of the screen. Cause I do my zooms on the phone too. So if he just tap the screen, all the icons appear. And right at the bottom left, you got the mute button and you got the start video button. If there's a red line across that microphone, that means you're muted. Tap that one time and you should get unmuted.
Show some.
Oh yeah, the button right here, log in the Excel sheet.
You want to share screen?
Yes. Okay, so this is how the fundraiser log looks like. I put in kind of some examples of how someone might fill it out. So at the top it says month of, I put March 2025, so put the year two, and then the date, and then the source we would like to put, you said their names, right? You want to have their names on there, so I put just examples, Jasmine Nguyen. For category was a ticket donation. The amount was $20 and the pay type was Cash App. That way we know we can keep track of things. We know where to find, like, keep a paper trail through the apps, but also on the log. And we know what the donation was for. It could also be like land donation, right? As a category. So that was just an example. And the total amounts at the bottom, it says $40, right? Maybe I only sold 2 tickets for the fundraiser, so I made $40, right? So that would be what would be contributed. So this is the fundraiser log. These are just smaller sections. If you go to the next page, next one, there's a bigger log. So if you guys feel like you guys need more space, you guys can use this log too. But I just gave options for like a small little log and then a big one. If you guys want to separate it, because maybe, you only do a few months or something. But I want
Question.
oh, go ahead.
I don't know if I missed it. I stepped away for a moment, but if when do we turn these in? Like once a month, um,
Yes. Yeah,
or are we
we'll do
doing it
like a
digitally?
Want some money? Yep.
Okay,
mhm.
okay, I didn't miss that.
Yeah, so this would be a monthly, yeah, I didn't mention that, but yeah, we'll be turning this in once a month just to kind of check to see where everyone's at. And then we're gonna put this information on the Excel sheet, and the
Hmm.
Excel sheet everyone will have access to. So we'll be able to share because it's gonna be a Google Excel sheet. So we can share with everybody so everyone could log in and they can see it whenever they want. So
Okay.
yeah, let's go to the Excel sheet.
On this one.
No, it's not on Canva. It's actually it's on Gmail. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and use that as like a cross reference. I also have some examples on the Excel sheet for how we're gonna fill it out, so you guys kind of get an idea. And then eventually, I kind of want to just put like a chart together, but that'll be after we collect all the data for the month, so that way we can get like a visual of where we stand and everything like that. You can go to the drive.
Parallel, peace and love.
Okay, sure.
Islam, how y'all doing?
You did
Pretty
great.
good, pretty good.
Go to the drive right here.
Yeah, we're just a quick recap, man, because I know you're one of the one of the more that's gonna be
Oh, here, let me
investing
share with you.
with the land trust. So we're kind of recapping with that. Um,
Let me share with you.
while she's trying to find
Um,
she's finding, I want to just recap because I feel like it's crucial that you saw at least see it.
I'm trying to figure out.
So essentially, we summarized a something that you will have physically, especially because you're not Khalifa territory. So this will be emailed to you. Um, just want you to get a visual of this real quick before we get into the spreadsheet. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, man.
Yeah,
All right, everybody see the screen now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just a recap for the brother, Khalil. So this essentially will be emailed to you. You're gonna have this physically. So just like we talked about last week, when you might get some fundraising money that counts towards your contribution. You would show them this. Wait, they'll give them this physically, or they'll keep it and just reference it when they're talking.
Yeah, you can keep it on hand with you when you're talking to somebody if you want to show them about the land project. This would be a way to like summarize what we're doing. And then if they want to stay up to date on pretty much the project, they could stay up to date with the Instagram. We'll be posting about it. And then they could always come to a temple meeting.
Okay, so yeah, so basically you'll hold on to this. Now in the front, it's to summarize what our mission is. Um, you know, and then contact information on the back. If they want to actually donate, you could just, it's gonna be two-sided. So it's gonna be one instrument. You flip it to the back, they can donate through these means. And you just saw the log, right? So whoever donates from this, you'll write that down, their name. Because remember, when they donate, they're gonna put a memo that say land trust donation. It's gonna have the information anyway. So this is stuff we're gonna see in the back office. You just want to get credit for your donation. They send 100. You're gonna put on your log that you have once a month. Oh, I got $100 from Susie. She scanned the QR code for the Cash App. So on that log is going, you're gonna put that how the method that was paid was Cash App, it was Venmo, it was cash, etc. And then it's gonna match our back office records, and now you got credit for your $100 for the month. And we also talked about we're gonna add another link. So you see 4 links. By the time everybody gets it, it's gonna be a
I'm gonna
fifth.
put it right here by the dots.
It's gonna be a fifth QR code, and that link is gonna be me talking about the land trust program from me. You know what I mean? We're pretty much gonna come up with a commercial or advertisement, and then just instruct them on that QR code. And we might just head it. We might title it something like informational. We'll figure something out. Just how we put Cash App Venmo right here. We'll put some type of title over the QR code, because you can give them like a summarized heads up anyway.
Okay. I can also use it digitally. It's like on social media platforms.
Yeah, you can
I mean, I
upload
can post it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, so we're gonna create a group chat. That's why I was asking for a couple of y'all numbers and stuff earlier. After the meeting's over, we're gonna create a group chat, and then I'll upload this into the chat, and y'all can download it and print it and or upload it to Instagram or wherever. But yeah, exactly. You know, the flyer you sent the. You got any question? Any questions on that before we transition to the Excel sheet?
Let's
No,
go to the fundraising law.
Oh, you didn't see the fundraising law. That's right. Okay, so here's the fundraising law. Let me
Go to
look.
the first page.
So this is an example of the fundraising log, how it will look. It's broke down month by month. Or you could oh, so before I move on, see what I mean by if they send Cash App, you put it's all laid out right there.
all right.
So
Okay.
the source is the name, the categories to get donation, the
Well, the
amount.
category in this case would be land donation. This is just an example.
Well, it's just like I use the concert as an example.
Right. So um or it'll be one like this that'll be a little more, lengthier, because you might be going fundraising crazy. You might want to use this one. You know what I mean? So, but essentially it's the same protocols.
And we'll turn it
Oh,
in
all right.
once a month,
Yeah, we're gonna turn these in once a month.
and we'll count the treasury and everything.
All
We'll
right.
just continue to just,
Oh, to Excel?
no, I mean, because the thing you're saying, are you,
Oh, yeah. So these logs, everything, we're gonna turn in once a month, probably like on the first.
yeah, so we're gonna pop it off April 1st. So yeah, every time we do a deposit, we want to turn in the log, because the log is the deposit. It's pretty much part of the deposit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, every first of the month, we want to submit these.
That way we can match it with what's on the log, with what's on the Excel sheet, and then what we actually like have in front of us. Like we just kind of cross-reference through, and then we see where everyone's at, and just keep it transparent.
So, okay, cool. Is there any form of like what I want to say? Is there any type of guarantee that we offering to the people that's also donating? Like, are they able to like come on the land? Like, say for like instance, if there's like any like farming or something like that, just so I can make sure I cover all avenues in case they got questions. That's because usually people want to donate, but they also want to get involved too, some type of way. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, the donation would, so you have to explain to them that you can tell them we have a board. All right. So everybody that is on the program to meet the criteria for the $83 a month, we're going to call that the board, people that are putting in interest. If these outside people aren't part of our internal organization, so they would just be simply donating to help our cause. If they want to get involved, that means they want to be members. That means they want to come to the meetings, they want to study, they want to be competent enough to be missionaries themselves, to be ambassadors, to spread this information and participate on a monthly basis to what we're doing. They have an option to do that too. If they don't want to do that and they just want to simply donate, then they wouldn't have any interest in the land like we do as the members. And
Okay.
of course, unless they want to be a member and put energy into like what I just said, you know what I mean? So you can explain that to them. That's pretty understandable, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What you see.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Can
I'm
you
gonna
hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now, brother.
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
All right. Yeah, my name's Ade. I'm from Arizona. Um, uh,
It's a love.
I have a question about the fundraising. Have you thought about, you know, as opposed, I mean, having a fundraiser as a means of, a means of getting for promotion for the land and everything? Is there anybody selling product, whether that be merchandise, you know, goods, in order, pretty much because I feel like that would be a lot easier when we're out, a missionary and everything like that, having a mission. I feel it'd be easier for the public to have something tangible that can then be pretty much siphoned right back into the land. You get what I'm trying to
So
say?
so that is divine because we talked about this on our last meeting. Obviously you weren't there, but it was a couple brothers that brung up the fact that they will buy some stuff wholesale, like some keychains or something like that, and sell it retail, and now they made a profit. And now that profit will go to, that's still the contribution, right? So yeah, if we were to do something like that, for example, if you want to do something like that, you will do the same thing. Um, Something pretty practical, a pen or whatever, a button or whatever. I don't, Um, yeah. So yeah, you
Okay.
want we on that, we on that.
Um, because
I
I
have
know,
a
because I here I know. Well, my fiance, she sells sugar scrub and shea butter, and out here in Arizona. And then we also have another. Well, she has a close friend that sells sea moss and everything. And they kind of sell outdoors and everything out in Arizona. At like flea markets and those kind of like those kind of things. And now I'm just thinking right now because like this is my first meeting, and everything, and I'm thinking that might be a good leeway into like this project and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Especially if they already got a clientele,
Hmm.
y'all can morph it where maybe what 5%, 3% of the sales go towards the fundraising. and just calculate it. And the same thing with the log. It's still ever got to be logged. You just be like 2% from this CMOS, whatever. But whoever's donating would still need to be specific of how it got donated, I guess. Just for organizational purposes.
Okay.
But yeah, man. Yeah, we can do something like that.
All right.
Yeah, I had something I want to bring up real quick. So, was it Cali exclusive? I don't think he's on right now, but he had mentioned possibly even like the merch that you have, the Khalifa Society merch, like giving everyone a code to the site. That way, like you're saying, having something tangible and something that's also pushing the mission. They can have Khalifa Society merch, and that could be everyone could have their own personal code to the website, and then a portion of that would be going to the fundraiser pretty much. That way they can have something that's part of the mission statement as tangible, maybe some kind of clothing or something. Even some of the products online too. There's some holistic products online that you have on the store. So, just using the code and the portion goes to the fundraiser, and that could be a way of having different tangible things, incense, like you said, CMOS, things that are holistic, that's also helping people. So not only are they donating to a good cause, but they're also receiving something that would be beneficial to them.
And to anybody that thinks of something like that in that nature, if it's a tangible product that could be shipped, okay, but before I say that, for example, like I ship hoodies, for example, people buy hoodies. If I was to ship a hoodie, just me and myself, going to the post office, it would be like $18 for the weight, right? But since I got the website, when the customer or the consumer purchases the hoodie, it's like $4 for the shipping now. I can get a shipping label from Shopify, right? So they will be paying the $4. The customer pay the $4 standard. Or if they choose to, of course, express or overnight, of course, it's going to be more. But the standard, like $4 for the hoodie, they paying that up front. So that I would eat whoever got the. I guess that wouldn't matter. I guess I'll be doing that. I guess. 'Cause what will happen is, like, say the brothers had the keychains, I will upload a picture of the keychain to the website, generate a link. I guess everybody pushed
different products.
Yeah. Everybody pushed that link like on Instagram. Every story, put the link. Click here, boom. They buying the keychain. We know internally amongst us that the keychain is a donation for the fundraiser, right? So we'll internally, deposit that. But
Are you
I guess
saying a separate link?
Yeah, so for
You
example,
saying a separate link from outside of your regular domain from your website?
No, it'll be
on the same platform.
it'd be the same platform. It'd be generated for that keychain, like by keychain now. Once you
URL.
Yeah, once you click that, it's gonna take you to the KhalifaSociety.net website, and people gonna purchase a keychain, and then I'll know
Hey,
that
Mom,
goes.
I got a
Yeah.
question, Mom. Like, check it, right? So,
Uh-huh.
what if I want to buy like wholesale wristbands and wholesale keychains, right? How am I gonna get the Khalifa Society logo or any of the, you know what I'm saying? Me and you got to collab on that. If I can get like a whole box of the keychains, you know what I'm saying? We collab on getting them with the Khalifa Society little logo on there and a little QR code on there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I could sell them. So how would we go about doing that? Like, would I would have to send you the bread and you buy them in bulk and whatever, like get them printed off or whatever? Like, how we gonna do that?
Well, in this case, it don't necessarily have to say Khalifa Society on there. It could just be some plain keychains, or it could just be, um,
It would be nice though, part of the missionary work though, at the same time.
what I mean. That'd be a lot more expensive though.
Mm. Oh, okay.
That's a whole nother process of getting Khalifa Society on each keychain. That's a whole nother, what I mean? Like, we gotta think of something practical. Um, that's a cost efficient too. For we, that because how much would you think about the retail for the keychains, brother Hassan? Like what?
Really, I was gonna sell them like $3 to $5, bro. So I wouldn't like hit people in the head and still get donations to push
Right.
to get the amount of money, you know what I'm saying, that we need. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was thinking of stuff that's cheap, you know what I mean? That I can
Yeah.
really push out there. It's nothing for me to sell a few keychains just breezing through, going to the store or something, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right. That's why I was saying no Khalifa Society, because now we bumping the price of the wholesale, which we're about to bump the price of retail for, you know what I mean? So I was saying keep them
Okay.
plain, yeah, keep them plain, but we can still promote it on our website. You don't have to have a, you know what I mean? We could still, once you do your idea you were saying, you just take some good pictures of what you got. I'll upload them to the website, generate a link, and I'll market every day. I'll market, just do a little advertisement on my story or something, or on the page. Because remember, we're gonna do a commercial anyway. So now that we're talking about this, we're gonna actually pay for promotion for this and everything. Um, and we'll mention that we're gonna have merch too affiliated with this in the next couple weeks or next couple coming days. And that'll be one of the keychains or whatever you got, be one of the things. Um, and then like I say, once they purchase it, we'll know. Obviously, they bought a keychain. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna email you the shipping label slip. So all you gotta do is print it out and then slap it on the box or the bag or whatever, and then the shipping is covered up.
I
That'll
got
be the
an
system.
idea.
Mhm.
I want to run across y'all too,
What's up?
Mhm.
What's up? What you got? What you got, Playboy?
in conjunction with the brother Hassan is saying as well. What about if we could what if we could put Moorish certain pictures in relation with Noble Drew Ali, uh, Moorish Science, and Khalifa Society on do rags and the things that the ladies be wearing. What's that stuff? Damn, what the shower caps or what you
Bonnet.
call it? Bonnet, the bonnets.
Oh,
Bonnet.
What
the
about
bonnet.
like
Yo,
putting it on the bonnets and the silkies?
that's a good idea, bro.
Because everybody wears silky.
I mean, I hate to say it, but you know the ghetto bras be wearing them bonnets to the grocery store. You heard?
That's
uh,
funny, man.
but yeah, man, I could, you know what I'm saying? I could put a couple dollars towards if anybody want to collab on it. And I think we can get like the silkies from like Alibaba or something like that, get them for the low low. But I
But,
don't know
but
nobody that
then
does like I don't know that screen, like who will do the screen print process and how to get the actual logo. But I
I
think you
got
could
a
do it through
dude.
Alibaba.
I got
Huh?
a Moroccan dude that I deal with, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me and him is tight like that. I get all my shirts done by him. Now, he got the joint where it could sew something on, and he got the print and press joint at his store in the mall, right up the street from my crib. So I'm saying if I get a whole box of something and I want him to press it on something, he'll give me a deal. You know what I'm saying? If it's in bulk, you know what I'm saying?
Can he do rags though?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go ask him because it's like a press machine from what I see behind the counter. You know what I'm saying? Because he do hats, everything. He got the sewing thing and he got the press machine. All I've ever had done by him is like shirts and hoodies. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking like how if we buy the little keychains in bulk, it got to be a company somewhere that I press that little logo on there, or something like you said, something to do with more science. I don't want to just have no plain stuff with nothing on it that's relative to our mission or what we trying to do. We got to have something like a quote stamped on there. You know what I'm saying? Unifying the people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something on there. You know, that's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking. The line
That is
that's
something.
what I'm
cool if you
thinking.
need a
Like
one-liner on there or something on the bracelet.
Mhm.
that's why I think Alibaba
Yeah.
could. I think Alibaba could do it because I used to be in a couple of social media groups back when I had waves,
Mhm.
and this was something that was like real big in the wave community. You know what I mean? So I know it can be done. I got a couple of people I could probably ask and talk to, but I mean, anybody ideas? I mean, we could all come up. You know how they do like at like when the kids do school projects and everybody design their own brick, and then they all get together and make a mosaic pavement or something. You know what I mean? So everybody ideas could come together. Like we could all make our own idea for the do rag, and then that'll, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it always come together. Every time all of us chime in and put our ideas together, it's always something beautiful. But you know what I mean? But what we trying to do, by the missionary work is teaching us to get thorough in our game. But on top of that is we reaching our goal even quicker. You know what I'm saying? Because we trying to get some land. And then once we get the land, we got to worry about building. You know what I'm saying? Maybe by then, some people we may touch might have that real bag and be like, yo, we like what y'all doing here. Take this.
Mhm.
Bing. You know what I mean? You never know.
Mhm. Yeah, no, facts, big facts. I mean, and we could officialize it too, put like a Khalifa Society tag on it. You feel me? So they can always know the origin of where they got it from. But that's something to govern their crowns with. So I think it'll play the longevity game too, and it'll get around to the youth in a real way too. So promoting everything that everybody got going on, from the music to the books to the science and everything, man. So
Yeah.
um,
And that's
what
funny
you
because
want to do, big brothers? Let me know.
I'm with it.
that's a good idea. Is I guess because once again, like any endeavors like that, you're starting a business. You know what I mean? But you're just donating your profits to what we're doing. So um I know Hassan said he got some people. Obviously, I make merch already, so I got embroidery people too. And we can just match some prices to see who the cheapest. I know for embroidery, it's like $6 each hit. Um,
But can we also just uh attach an LLC to like the trust of the organization, and then we all get in on the LLC, so we all a part of it?
no, we don't want to. That would be an example of mixing private and public, for example.
Oh,
Um, what we're doing is private in the sense that everybody involved has a national title. We have nationality, so it's a republic form of government. It's a trust and it's a state that we're creating for the benefit of our beneficiaries. So when you say LLC, now you're getting the Secretary of State involved in our affairs.
oh,
You know what I'm saying?
okay, okay.
Now that would be the regulatory that they can regulate our movement. Kind of like when you looked at 501(c)(3). Remember when you looked it up?
Yeah,
And they can only speak in certain parameters or they get their charter
yeah.
revoked. It's the same thing. So we want to keep our stuff all the way international law, nationality, rights of indigenous people, jurisdiction. But yeah, that was a great question because I think people
So
need to hear. Yeah.
so how can we come together as how can my trust and your trust come together to um to create like a corporation or something, like you know how they got like Johnson's and Johnson's baby oil or something like that, or whatever the case may be. How do two can that happen? Is that possible? I'm not too studied in that area, so I don't know.
Oh yeah. And just to so what we're doing is a community trust. Khalifa Society is a community trust. Now, if you, the man, woman, child, create a family trust, which is Khalifa Society has nothing to do with that. That's your family trust. All assets you generate for the benefit. Now, I have a family trust. Your family trust and my family trust want to do business. It's a simple contract of terms and conditions of how we're gonna roll the business out, and that's it. And it's documented. And those are called minutes that will be recorded in our trust. Um, and that's the law. And right back to the constitutional law. Um, I think Article 1 of the Constitution dealing with the contract clause law. The contract is the law of the land. As long as there's no fraud going on, that's why it's a trust or established because the probate court can't get involved in anything that was in a trust. So dealing with a state, it's out the magistrate hand. The municipal court can't even come in that. The bar members can't. It's already done. All they can do is just reinforce what's already there. Oh, it looks like the trust says this goes like if something happens, somebody die or whatever, your heir come. Oh, it looks like this is supposed to go here. That's all they gonna do. Just reinforce what you already said, right? So, long story short, trust can do business with other trusts. Estates can do, business with other estates as long as the language is competent in the contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So
and
are we, in short, are we, so I would need to create my family trust first in order for, or we would all have to create our family, the people who are interested would have to create that family trust in order for us to move in unison on this idea.
to participate in the land trust, that's one thing. But you asked if we can do business trust to trust um, as individual members, right? Then you have to create your own family trust. Now you can do business with my family trust. Like just me and you, like your estate to estate. But as
Yeah.
far as you don't have to have a trust established, a family trust established already to participate in what we're doing as a community land trust. You're a beneficiary of the community land trust already by well, the documented as the months and years go on, the documentation of your participation will show that you're a beneficiary of this trust. Why? Because it's going to show you're active with your donation logs. That means you out in the community, right? We got these recorded meetings that are already been said, who participating, right? And we're going to log it down anyway officially. So when you talk about contract law, you got a written contract and you got express contract. We got both going on. So by the mere
Mm.
actions as the months go on, we got whoop de whoop bay, whoop de whoop L, $83. It came from physical payment or donation past 6 months. Oh, beneficiary to this estate. You know what I'm saying? Because your
Right.
activity. Oh, friends and family, you let them know about this information. You're bringing them along to the community. Oh, you got a thirst for knowledge to get more information on your own birthright. That's all we at, right? You're an active member.
Right.
You're an asset to the community, right? So you're a beneficiary. But yeah, whoever doesn't have a family trust, think about, setting one up, especially if you got an heir,
Well,
you know.
in the aspect of the fundraiser, um, I think we were just trying to come up with ideas in conjunction with that to help move the process along. I mean, it could end up into something that's longevity. So that's why I'm saying, like, what needs to happen for that idea? I don't know all the legal and the political stuff behind that. So what is that? What does that look like for in order for that to, for me and Hassan to work together on that and then involve anyone that comes to me and say, oh, I want to be a part of that. I want to do that too. What's the link? I want to share the link too. I want to throw some ideas in there and have that go towards my part of the fundraiser too. Like what needs to happen in order for those ideas to make sense and make it fair for everybody to where we can all
Oh,
move on that in unison.
well, yeah, kind of like we talked about last week. So Hassan, how we popped it off, I guess Hassan brought an idea last week about the keychain. So we talked about how he would personally invest in wholesale and make a flip. When he makes a flip, he's making a profit, right? He's making a profit. Let's say he knew nothing about the land trust. Just him doing that, he's making a profit, right? He's deciding to give his profit to the organization, for the temple, for the land trust
So
project.
if I wanted to invest in, so okay, that's a good example. So if I wanted to invest into that and for the same righteous cause, how do how does that happen?
Oh, you would contact Brother Hassan like, oh, how much? I like what you're doing. How much did it cost to get the wholesale keychain? Oh, hold on, brother. It was $300. Oh, I want to give you 150. Let's bust that down. So now what happens is once all the merch is sold, y'all gonna divide up the profits. It's 50-50. And that profit is going, right? Y'all gonna,
I see
you
what you're
decide.
saying. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
so each estate is coming together, but once the money or the profit go back to that estate, it would be up to that estate to allocate the money towards
yeah,
whatever the contracted agreement would be upon, and then based on that, if I'm following this correctly, based on the verbal communication between said parties that we have on physical record through the recordings would be basically what you said, that the magistrate or the courts would be able to hold to, because they would just go off of what was already said or what's provable to be said and say, hey, well, you said that the money would go here or whatever the case may be. So this is where they would rule in favor of, if ever there was to be a certain type of like altercation or anything between those two estates
right. Yeah,
or all parties involved.
right.
So it's just basically you operating as your own corporation.
You're administrating your own estate. You're administrating your affairs
Uh,
of your
yes,
estate.
sir.
Yeah, that's the that'll be more
Okay,
proper.
so
Yeah,
I'm representing my estate as my body itself, coming in and said I want to do business with your estate. We come to with a contracted agreement. Okay, I'm following it. I'm following it.
yes, sir.
Yeah. And I
Sir.
think it's just
Yes,
it's
sir.
different lingo too, because like if you're talking about like corporations and stuff, you would get into a contract too, right? If you're trying to do business
Uh-huh.
with someone coming into a building, hey, I want to put a vending machine here. How much would I have to give you in order to do that? And then we go into a contract. Okay, this is where we said I'm gonna give you this much. This is what it's gonna cost, and you just break down
All right.
everything so both parties understand and there's no confusion. That way the business is clean, and you just, however you guys go about it is what you guys said in the beginning. You kind of set the tone.
Okay.
hmm But
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
but then I guess when you're dealing with the states, it's the same process. It's
It's
similar contract.
similar parallel because all contract law and trust law and contract law are like synonymous. It's line brother Larry Bay. Um, so like I always reference contract law for dummies. Get your feet wet with you know just the basics, and then jump off into trust law. Right after that, and you're gonna see it's just a contract. It's just
So, Marv, I
uh,
got a question. One last question. Like, yo, so everybody who basically donates and is part of this, their names will be included into the land trust, correct?
Mhm.
um.
To the beneficiary, right?
So we're gonna see members like so the members right that are part of this, and then we got donations that are be like you're gonna be logging donations. You could be getting a donation, and I'm saying it's like this just to make sure we're clear on what you're saying. Say you get a donation from Susie Q. You never see her ever again in your life, but she just like what you said. I got 300 for you for the land trust. We'll never meet Susie Q again, right? Um, that will be logged as Hassan is donate got contributed 300 to the land trust. That's your contribution for now. You up 4 months. You got 4 months of in the good. You can kick back, right? So that would be logged. But Susie Q has no interest in the land, though. I just want to make that clear. That's all. Just for everybody else. Um, what's your thoughts on that,
One
brother Hassan?
question.
I'm talking about like us members. You know what I'm saying? Us
Oh,
members
yeah,
that,
As
yeah,
beneficiary.
like all of our names will be in that land trust. So
Mhm.
yeah,
that's how that roll or how
We'd
is
be
it
like
going?
the board members.
yeah,
We'd
yeah,
be stewarding.
yeah. Like I said earlier, we're essentially the board. Everybody that's committed to that $83 a month, whether fundraising or personal or half and half or create a business to flip it to however y'all do it. Board, think of it, y'all part of the board. Y'all showing interest because y'all remember we got the $20,000 goal and we already did the math for 10 members. Um, so yes. Um,
Okay, so like a board of investors, if you will.
yeah. And then every
Mhm.
every
Okay.
month, every once a month, we coming to the table with the transcripts, and we're coming to the table with turning in the logs
Mhm.
for the month of fundraising too. And we're going to count the money physically to make sure they match the
Excel
the
sheet.
Excel sheet once a month, every month. Oh, brother, I see you had something.
Yeah, quick question. So what if somebody is donating, like they're not a board member, but say they actually want to be a beneficiary, but say like they don't, like let's say like for example in Arizona there's a lot of Mormons over here and everything. For example, what if they were to uh donate, but they wanted to be a beneficiary, like I'm asking like what is the laws because what if they wanted to benefit from that, what I'm trying to say?
To join the organization.
Oh, they would have to join the organization.
They would have to join the organization.
Yeah, to
Got
have
you.
interest. Yeah, yeah. And what that means is, once again, that means they know they have a requirement every month for $83, right?
Got you.
They also know that they need to be an ambassador to understand how they fit in the Moorish paradigm. Because remember, we're a Moorish organization. We're Moors, right? So they would need to know how they fit in that. They would need to have allegiance to that. How we moving. Um, and then yeah, they be looking at anybody else that's doing the same.
Got
Um,
you.
yeah, you know.
I got a question on that because I'm glad you brought that up because the first thing in my head said, "Oh hell no, whatever." uh,
Yeah.
but okay, so you said if that was the case, um, because and I'm gonna just shorten it real quick with knowing for those who know the Moorish history and the things that the Moors have had to fight and are currently fighting right now. How do we, if because there will be those who may profess that they do want to show allegiance, what are we holding them up to in regards to showing allegiance? Would that be a testimony of allegiance? Would that be some type of oath? What would we be holding them up to in regards to their testimony or excuse me, their proof or validation of their allegiance uh and wholesomeness and good faith and morale to us Moors? Because I feel like that's what we got to build. The more I study into Moorish history and more science and how easy it's been to deceive us Moors and how easy it's been to overcome it. Well, not easy, but how easier it is now because they've done so many years of study on us as Moors. Um, what do we do to protect or to close the gates around us to protect us as Moors?
The
Because
allegiance.
we've seen plenty of Moorish leaders, erect communities and movements, and that have all been taken down.
So
So
it's
how did the
the
outsider how do I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but so I can express it in full, how do we safeguard ourselves? Because if I'm not mistaken, every nation has a form of oath or a testimony before they allow someone into their nation or to their country to show allegiance or to what I mean? How do we verify that at these early stages in the rebuilding of the Moroccan Empire?
it's just like we doing with the people that's on the chat right now, right? How did I meet anybody that's here, right? So we built up to this. Like I was talking about was he got his name Jesse Beverly, but Trey L. We was talking about it's been over a year and a half. He been tapping in. He in Oakland. I never met him physically. He coming in May. We're gonna put together a physical demonstration, um, so we can meet him, most of the brothers in the flesh. But that's how I go. The allegiance is by, in hindsight, you looking like, oh man, time flying. He's still here, getting the information. putting it out, contributing his energy, right? That's the same thing with anybody. Um, you know, so you don't know if somebody got allegiance without meeting them the first day. That's with anybody, right? That's a test of time. Um, but if they are saying I agree to the terms and conditions, and you after you letting them know like this is requirements, for example, I met an Albion guy. He bought my book Friday. Blonde hair, blue eye guy. He from New York. He grew up around 5%ers. He seen the table and immediately came to me like, bro, Islam. Tell me more. I gotta know about this. I drop a couple Jews. We exchanged numbers. He was like, bro, he talking about inviting me to his baby, his wife pregnant. He talking about inviting me to his baby shower. Right? So it's people that get their heart get touched, no matter where their skin tone is at. You know what I'm saying? And even with all that, I still like, you know what I'm saying? It's still a test of time, but that's all you can do. I tell people we can't play the skin tone games because let's face it, most of the merch I sell, like I said before, my clientele, people a lot lighter than me that support me. When you start doing the percentages, so if I was just stuck on you know what I mean? And I'm not saying you're saying we're getting stuck on skin tone games. I'm just saying when we're saying who's a Moor, who's not, or we should stick with Moors, who's Moors, who are Moors? We got Moors that are Filipino, we got Vietnamese Moors, we got Moors in Russia. We the original Europeans, so if we seeing blind or blue-eyed people and calling them French and British, are they really the original British or French, or did they come, or they amalgamated, or did they come from the source? And if you got people that's down with the allegiance of how stuff went down, that mean they're pledging allegiance to the Moorish paradigm. So the first stage would be having no rebuttal with the terms and conditions. The second is just evaluating day by day, month by month, the actions of this person that's coming.
And 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 I agree. And wholesome. I was more so coming from the political aspect, because when you say Mormons, it could be any type of person that is a Mormon or a Christian. But I'm saying from a long haul or a political stretch, it's about what you claim an allegiance to up underneath what paradigm. You know what I mean? I learned that, taking lessons from you. I came up out of the 501c3. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a minute to understand it and to see it. But so, I'm not worried about skin complexion. I'm more so as addressing the question from because historically when they say, well, the Christians versus the Muslims, um, there's a skin complexion part of that. But then also we know that in government, when we read such things, we know that we're looking at that from a political aspect. So the Christians and the Muslims weren't warned because one was talking about Jesus being God, and they were like, "No, Prophet Muhammad is the messenger." That's not what they was going to war about. You know what I'm saying? Like it was deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying from the political ground and the political aspect, because then we got the Moors who are Catholics in the Catholic Church or in the Christian Church in high places, who strategically um, war against the Muslim Moors, as far as the Muslims and the Jews. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from a more of a political aspect rather than so skin tone.
Hey, yo,
Yeah,
if we not doing no commerce with them, if we not dealing with them, we got our own. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll help out a lot, brother. But I do get your point very well. You know what I'm saying? But I think like if we have our own everything and don't have to deal with them commercially on no type of tip, there's nothing they can say to us. There's nothing they can do to us. If we not out there screaming and hollering on bullhorns and all that, you know what I mean? They ain't gonna bother us. We competent in law. We peaceful people, protected under the Most High. Like everything gonna work out fine. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we dibbling and dabbling and trying to push the door open on certain stuff and everything and causing a lot of hysteria in the media and all that. Yeah, they're gonna probably do some 007 shit and bang us down. But if we just stay calm and positive, bro, I think everything will work out fine. But you do got a valid point, my bro.
and then too,
Uh,
when you say political, just real quick, I'll give you the floor, Trey, you said politically. So this right here is political, like the Zoom meeting. The reason it's political is because it's a jurisdiction. It's people on the same mind frame. We're saying we know our nationality and culture. We're gonna organize and do X, Y, Z. We're gonna go about it a certain way. We just created a jurisdiction, right? So a Mormon could say they're Mormon, right? But I'm down with the Moorish paradigm. I'm still down with it because let's face it, the Mormons came from the Moors. Their origin comes from us. Everything comes from us. Like I say, just for example, that's Christian. Once I tell them, Christian come from Krishna, which is Christ, and we talking about activating pineal gland now, and then that Christian says, you know what? I had to go back. I had to come back 2 days later. I heard what you said. I was kind of offended, but I had to research what you told me. And you know what? You're right. The concept of the Christ is more ancient than what I got taught in the church that I've been going to. And I appreciate you, brother. If they come like that, now this Christian brother can join the Moorish paradigm because they're not looking at Christianity from, like you said, which will make it political. You know what I mean? So yeah, it just depends on the heart chakra of the person you're dealing with, man. Case by case.
I would like to add something.
Mhm.
So I understand the concern is like a security matter, of like letting people in and out, kind of how like when you go into different countries, right? They have like armed forces just to check people. Is that kind of like where you're going with that? Like making sure we protect, having like the fence around and stuff. Like we don't
Yeah,
just let anybody in. And I feel
yeah,
that
exactly.
it would be up to us, like when we start to really be like in one area, to see who would be part of that protective force, right? Who would be the mufti, and who would help protect the people and the knowledge, but also us as training too. We would have to train. We would all have to know how to utilize certain things and how to move if we did need to protect. Right. Because I know at the temple, there's a temple over in Hacienda Heights. They actually, with the younger kids, they have the younger kids part of Boy Scouts, but they learn like survival skills, right? And they even have like karate classes. I forgot what kind of classes, but something in defense. So they're teaching the children young how to defend themselves. They even had the Boy Scouts out there shooting guns and doing archery, right? So things like that, I feel like it'd be important for us to practice and to know if we want to get into, securing.
Yeah, that was the Buddhist temple that you
That
referenced.
was a Buddhist, it was a Buddhist temple.
Yeah,
It was a huge temple. Oh, and they showed a timeline of how the temple even got created. It was just some people that came together. It was very private at first, but they had a lot of members. They put their funds together, however they did it, donations and stuff. And then they're able to start building temples. They have different temples across the world. And eventually, later on, they became a 501(c)(3). They became a corporation so they can get donations, big donations to do bigger projects and stuff to interface with the United States. But yeah, that going to that temple just shows what's possible, and they have classes there for kids, but they also understand that you got to protect the peace too. And that's why they have those survival skill classes and the shooting, the archery, the karate classes and stuff like that. And that's essentially what we're trying to do is create a temple where it's like a resource center, right? Where we can learn different things, even for the
Yeah,
children. So that's important.
Oh,
yeah. I
Trey, my
mean,
bad.
Like
oh, my fault. Go ahead.
if y'all notice, like all the people before us, like let's say Dr. York or people before us that did this type of thing. I think one of the reasons that they went down is because they was all in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? I understand if you got the light. I understand if you got, you know, what it takes to to unite the people. But sometimes you got to do it real easy because the enemy that we dealing with, unfortunately, they have technology and stuff way beyond our capabilities if we really want to be real. You know what I'm saying? So we need to just stay peaceful, stay humble, You know what I'm saying? And gradually build our community slowly and efficiently, and not be all out in the limelight, like, you know, like carrying the bullhorn, screaming in the street and all that. We don't need to do that. We need to move different. You know
Let
what I'm
me now
saying? Like, I feel where I'm
let me
coming
say
from, right?
Wait,
no,
let me get,
I feel you.
wait, let me get the brother Trey L. He been waiting patiently.
Okay,
Okay,
yes,
yes,
sir.
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. I was just gonna advise, like the brother was saying, like, far as like, trying to protect basically like who we let in the circle and who we dealing with, like maybe because that's a great idea, something to be concerned about. Maybe like as things get expanded more with the group and stuff, maybe it becomes more of a criteria that is needed for people to join, whether it's like, come to 12 Zoom meetings and two interview kind of conversations with Mafia or something to get a feel of them, or whatever it may be. But I think it would be even a more good idea, like I said, like as time goes, that that's something that really is something that's a lot more into consideration and have like a certain criteria, because we already know, like brother was talking about, they got all the technology and stuff, and in a way we basically like targeted, you know what I mean, like they're always trying to mess with us. So it's like preparation, should be put in play in some type of way, now. Yeah.
Islam on that.
Was it Kyle?
Yeah,
Was it
cause
Hamam?
yeah. So I agree with everybody with everything everybody is saying, and that comes from the just from I've been through my own community out in AZ, man, in South Phoenix, man. So I've been through with the Nation of Islam and whatnot. They checking brothers at the door. You can't even get in the building without getting patted down. You know what I'm saying? You got the Masons where you going through an investigation process on your background and who you've been in society before you can even get through and get your first degree. You understand me? Man, when you watch on TV and look at the old African nations and the kingdoms, you're not just walking up to the big dog in the back of the hut. You got to go through so many soldiers and so many people before you can even get to the big dog. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
I
word.
just think it's an order of life. You know what I'm saying? It's an order of life to protect. And what we talking about protecting is the knowledge that we have and the divine movement. And we not, Brother Hassan has said, you know what I mean? Like we under the protection of Allah. And I agree, most wholeheartedly as well. But let us not be fools of the power of those who do walk with the lower self, who do embrace that type of energy. And we study in the 42 laws of Ma'at, they practice in the 48 laws of power. You know what I mean? It's a totally different ball game. So what I'm saying is in order to protect what we do have, I'm tired of seeing the divine movement being so divine and beautiful and then getting broken down because of it's always one of our own. How they intercept and how they come in between us. So, what I'm saying? I think there should be some thought to it. It don't got to be nothing in concrete now, but I think there should just be some type of thought into it to where, Khalifa society is protected to some degree. It ain't got to be nothing major right now, but you got to also look at the fact too that we in 2025, you don't have to be loud with the bullhorn in the street. We in the time to where one post, one video, and you viral. One quote, one thing you say, and it'll spark a match like that. So
Word.
you could be nobody today and only be somebody amongst the people who know you, and then by tomorrow, boom, on accident. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So that's why I'm saying it has to be some type of thought process
May I
into the
say something?
protection of
I,
Khalifa society and its wholesome. I yield.
Go ahead, brother.
I agree with what everyone's saying, and I believe we are when you playing chess, you thinking
4 or 5 steps, ahead. We're all thinking ahead and just being cautious of what we're doing. So that goes to show that as we're moving forward, we will be protected, with the minds that we have in this body politic, in this family that we have. Um, and that I just wanted to shed light on that. I think we're all saying the same thing, and we're thinking a couple more steps ahead than we are, because we once we get bigger, we'll definitely put those security doors and people in place, and it's all gonna come, and we all have great ideas in formulating those doors and people. Uh, I just wanted to say that I think we all saying the same thing. I think we're all on the same page. Um, but just getting it off the as Moth, says, we gotta, can we even, you know get the 20,000 first, or and guard that. I think we definitely gonna get there, and we are there. I yield the floor with that. I just wanted to say, I think those are great ideas, and we gonna be there, and we gonna put the barriers in place as they're needed, because we all got minds, as we see right now. We all got the ideas to put them in place. I yield the floor.
Islam.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Nunu, you got
I
something?
just wanted to say, yeah, I just wanted to chime in. I think that everybody is pretty much on a really good, open mind to looking at the bigger picture spiritually, because this is a spiritual movement. So I hear exactly what you're saying, brothers, and that's we really kind of have to elevate and make sure that our vibration is attracting
Oh, one
what
second.
we
Are you
really
covered?
want.
Is your mic covered or something?
Oh, can you hear me?
You kind of
Okay,
muffled, Empress. You kind of muffled a little.
okay, you know what? I'm in an earphone, so I yield. I just wanted to say, yes, we all on the same page. That's on a spiritual vibration. That's it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes,
got
Islam,
it's
Empress.
not.
Okay.
No, it's
Islam.
not. It's
Mhm.
not. You got something? Um, okay, yeah. It's a think tank after all. It's gonna be a continuous think tank. And like the brother was saying, and I agree. I feel we'll be ready when we get to that phase. And I also agree, like I said before we get to that, to test our allegiance with the current group. So we got people right here. We got a task ahead of us. We come up with a plan. We gonna see if we gonna execute or not. That's yet to be determined. That's the reality, right? So over these months, we gonna see our allegiance, the group right here, right? And then we'll start thinking about other people's allegiance. Let's solidify and manifest some things. And and like the brother said, I feel like we got good hearts and minds, and it's fruitful, to keep having these type of talks. You got something?
Yeah. We can also make it a thing if someone wants to join. We can have a board meeting. So whoever is part of the board, we talk about, kind of like the progress, and if we want this person to join in that way, where they would be on the land. That way we're all kind of, observing and seeing what's going on. Because we do want to protect, right? So I feel like that can be a way where we could all come to an agreement too. Because, right, if we're going to be on the land and we're all trying to steward it, then we need to protect it. So we collectively together should make that decision.
And that's what comes with the allegiance. 12 months from today, we're gonna see activity from this group. That's what gives you the say so. So now we're having a board meeting. Who we having a board meeting with?
Mhm.
The people that's been showing their allegiance. Oh, it's documented. So you part of the huddle now as far as, do you think this person would be a good fit? They can literally do an interview in front of the board, in front of 10, 12 people, whatever, whoever involved.
Mhm.
They can this person that we consider it can literally say what they need to say in front of all of us.
Mhm.
And then we can get back to them in a couple of days. Whatever I'm saying, I'm to give an example. However,
Mhm.
whatever we
Yeah.
come up with, I'm just saying
Mhm.
that's what happens. I mean, you got people
Yeah,
locked in.
I agree with that, bro. Like, you should have a couple of guys next to you Larry Bay, one of them, you know what I'm saying? That like your advisor, like once we get this jumping, like if we face for certain decisions, even though you and the Empress have the last say so, but I feel like you should select a couple of guys to be close to you. You know what I'm saying? To be like, nah, Moff, or I think this Moff, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just to put that out there.
An advisory board.
I
Advisory
think,
board.
can I say something on that too?
Wow.
Piggyback off Brother Hassan. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play the opposition on this one though, but I agree what he's saying. But I think you should have the council of holy empresses on the side of you making that decision. Why? Because like the saying always goes, the mothers, like everybody already noticed from any neighborhood to neighborhood all the day, all the time. You know what I'm saying? Mama knows best. Mama was always the one to tell you who your real friends was. You feel me? So mama gonna always know best. You heard me? Like,
That's true. So the Empress pick a couple Empresses to be on her side, and Moff pick a couple brothers to be on his side, and they be like their advisement board. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
they can do
And
that too. Yeah, for sure, sure.
that would be dope.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. We got to get power back to that matriarch too. You feel me? Because the women know best. We got to follow their intuition at the end of the day.
Correct.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Zodiac Constitution that just got erected. Y'all might not even know. Why do I say that? Because we're talking about the natural Hassan, natural fire that's coming out, right? We just talked about the matriarch and the intuitiveness of the woman. And that's how governments and empires were structured. We living out what the ancestors did already. We just doing it intuitively, right? And I just wanted to highlight that's not something that needs to be taken lightly. And just like what Yazir Bey said, it's a field. We can feel, everybody in here for the righteous reason. And that's intuitive. We know women are more intuitive than us, but all human beings have intuitive faculties. And we can use spiritual discernment when we have new people coming in. And I like what we talked about. You got to counsel of women. Look what we're erecting every week. We coming up with these ideas. We about to come with the group chat when the meeting's over. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, right? Is the word, idea, the word, action,
Pata.
patah. That's patah. You call it Egyptian Book of the Dead. We're exercising ancient principles right now, right? Make it happen. We the gods and goddesses of the earth. And we know God is an action word, right? To make happen, to make manifest. Right.
So you saying you like the idea, Moff? That's what you saying?
I love it. I love it. I love the idea, man. I know I get long winded, but yeah, that's the bottom line. I love the idea. I was explaining why I left. But yeah, invoke, exactly. Invoke. Invoke. So let's do it. Okay, I feel like we made some good ground today on some things. Okay. So yeah, next week we're gonna finalize the document that we showed y'all as far as the fundraising. We're gonna add another link. We're gonna do a commercial. I'm gonna make a group chat when the meeting's over today for everybody. I believe I have everybody's math. Brother, I don't obviously. I just met you today, but I'm gonna put your number in the chat if you're gonna be part of the group chat. And then also I wanted to get with you too, or just ask. I don't know how much information you know about the Moorish paradigm, your thoughts about it. I know we just kind of got in here and started building because the energy, right? We just vibing up the energy. But ideally, we need to let Brother DL in here. We want to make sure you're competent and that you have allegiance to what we're doing, kind of like what we're talking about, right? It's a new person came in today, got invited by the brother Yazir Bey. And it's really just all love. It's the brother, yeah, come tap in. some of the strength of Yazir Bey, right? Here's some more. But we want you to make sure you be a competent ambassador for what we're doing. Under, any person, any nationality in front of my face, I can competently let them know how they're connected to this Moore space. I don't care what nationality they are, because I studied. We can sit down with them, and ideally, we want all our members to be that adept. We want our members to be adept in law as well. I wrote a book called Moorish Tactical, highly recommend it, to get your feet wet. And like I said before, I don't know your background, how much history you know, or what you know about the Moors, or what's your position on it. So I wanted to put that out there as well. If you want to get tight in some areas.
I'm fresh in it right now.
You're for brand new fresh?
Yeah, I mean, my religious background, I grew up Christian. My father was a pastor and everything, and I took my Sarat in Islam a few years ago in the Bronx. So that's pretty much my background on religion and everything.
Okay. Okay, I see you got the number. Can you take a picture of that?
Mm-hmm.
Got your number. So what I'll do is I'm gonna reach out to you after the meeting. I'm gonna send you a link to my book. I'm gonna send you a couple past YouTube videos that
Okay.
I think is in a nice little space. And then let's have a conversation on there. The whole goal is where you have no gray areas on history and law or anything. So we'll continue to go back and forth. It's a plethora of information. There's nothing to rush at all and nothing like that. But yeah, let's approach it like that, you know. And then every Sunday we live. We typically have physical meetings every month and a half. Our last physical meeting, we did the concert yesterday. The next one, I believe in May. Brother Trayel, he's a Sacramento. He's gonna come down. We have members that are not in California that we haven't met physically yet, so he's one of them. So we want to have an event for that. We'll figure something out, figure a venue for that in May. But yeah, it's pretty much it, man. Stay tapped in and just be willing to learn and push the political agenda. You came at a nice time talking about land, so you came at a nice time where we're actively trying to be active and get some manifestation going as well. So divine timing. Brother DL, peace and love, man. How you feeling? All right. Anybody else got any thoughts?
I want to put something out there.
Okay.
So I know a day you were talking about having tangible things, right? So for the fundraiser, I just want to go back to that. So for the fundraiser, someone brought up even the ebook, right? If you wanted to use that as a way to fundraise, the Moorish Tactical ebook, that could be just emailed out to them, but that could be a way for them to purchase. Then you can log that in. So that would be them even getting information. That'd be partially like a missionary work too. So that is something that we have. And we were thinking about making like a fundraising committee. That's something we can develop along the way, but a committee of people where they come up with fundraising ideas, right? Because not only do we need that, but we also need a land search committee. I'll be a part of that community, pretty much teaching people how to look for the land with me. But that's what's going to take is the fundraising and then people looking for the land to make this come together. So those are the things that are kind of like we're as this developing as we go along. But yeah, we're just putting the documents and stuff together. So I just want to put that out there as we've talked about different ideas of giving people some tangible things.
And also, yeah, that's a great idea.
Islam.
So y'all, it's an internet connection unstable, but can y'all hear me? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you mom.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Salam. So yeah, y'all can also use it as a fundraising tool. I forgot about that. I'll generate a link and I have an ebook version of one of my books. If they purchase that, that's $20. The book, no, damn, no, the ebook is only $10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ebook's only $10. Yeah, that's $10 right there. So y'all just put that on your log like they bought a book, and then so I can match it with the back office information on the website, and then that's a way for y'all to get credit too. That's real easy.
Mhm.
Ebook. I could email this.
Anywhere.
I could email this to somebody, right? We ain't
Mhm.
talking about no manufacturing and flipping. It's already just straight profit, right? So y'all can use that. Get people to buy about 5 books. 50. You know what I mean? Or um if they buy the physical, we can do like $5. But that's a little different because I might but like I said, the ebook that'd be that's nice and clean right there.
Mhm.
So that's a great idea. Um I'm working on another book too, actually. I'm working on another one.
What's the name of it? You want to give it out? Yeah, you don't
No,
wait.
no, not yet. Not yet. Not yet, but it's coming. Um, all right. So let's go. It's 1:15. Let's read a little something and close out with the Southern Brotherhood of the East and prayer. And then we'll do another round on the back end, see if anybody had any more thoughts on anything. For the last couple of weeks, we had a different little vibe, huh?
Oh, I do want to mention something really quick.
Oh, you want to show this, right?
Yeah, I did want to show this, and I do want to talk about the auction that's coming up, so everyone can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So let me share the Excel sheet.
Forgot all about that. Yeah, let's look at this Excel sheet.
Can everyone see the Excel sheet?
Yeah, yeah, I see it.
Okay, so this is how we plan to track the Excel sheet. Pretty much with the fundraiser log, if you guys see, I just transfer the information over. So it says Noble title, there's the date. If you guys saw in the fundraiser log, it said Jasmine and John, right? It was a ticket donation, the amount, the payment type, and then the total amount. And then the next one has Mafiel, right? Let's say he filled in for April and it was a land donation, right? And he only got one donation for $20 cash. He would log that in. And then on the right side, if you see it says group total amount for March, I would add up pretty much everything that we collected for the month. And then the grand total would spit out right there. I'll use like the formulas and stuff on Excel. And everyone would have the link for this. So we can actually share this Excel sheet with everybody. So you guys can see it in real time when we update it and to see what the group amount is. At the bottom, you'll see these tabs right here. So I've created tabs pretty much for a year length. So this file specifically will be for from 2025 March to 2026 March. And that's how we'll keep track. We'll have a different little category for each person, track the amount exactly like the fundraiser log, and then add it up. And then we'll cross-reference that with the little cash box that I'll have. So I'll go to the bank pretty much, just withdraw, and I could count in real time or show you guys even like the bank statement or whatever, just to keep it transparent with everything. So, and I'll just keep it on one account. It'll just be for that, just for the land trust. So it doesn't get too messy, like, mixing money with anything. So yeah, I'll pretty much open a separate account for that. And it'll just be for what we're doing. That way, if you guys ever want to request any statements, it's just clean, clear cut. You guys will see all the money that's like pretty much went into it. And that's how I plan to keep the transparency on the money part. What else is there? There's something else I wanted to show. I forgot. But yeah, we'll just need everyone's email for this so you guys can see in real time whenever you guys want to log in the Excel sheet. And then, like we said, once a month, we'll go ahead and go over this, what we have logged. We'll count the money. So that way we know where we're at. And if we're on track, we might be able to reach 20,000 quicker, right? Than we think. So, with everyone's great ideas with the fundraising, there's so many ways we can go about it. You can create your own business, have it on the website as on the platform, or we can collectively come up with something. And then, if you donate, you get this free bracelet and it has a little quote on it from Noble Jewelry, something like that, where we can all collectively do that, right? Or the ebook. Like there's so many great ideas and so many different ways to fund this. And like I said, it's very possible. There's people that are already, different organizations already doing stuff like this. There's one that's being created in Long Beach out here in California. There's one in Santa Ana. There's one in South LA, Community Land Trust, where they've gotten land and they're doing exactly that and making community gardens and stuff. So this is it's not far-fetched what we're doing here. It just takes us organizing and really putting it together and doing the research too, like I said. Because I've dealt with different organizations and they have different groups of people doing different things to make the vision happen. So I just wanted to put that out there. But this is what we have so far. What do you guys think about the Excel sheet? Does it seem like clear and like pretty like straightforward? And is there anything else you feel like we should add?
Definitely. Great idea.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's easy to understand.
Mhm.
Thank you, Empress.
Okay. So I wanted to read from the 12 Powers of Man, Southern Brotherhood of the East, and then close out in prayer. And then we could do one more round for anything miscellaneous after we close out. This is chapter 12, 12 Powers of Man, dealing with renunciation. Right. Getting rid of old habits, renounce. And I find this fitting to what we're doing, just coming into this Moorish paradigm. All Christians who have had experiences variously described as change of heart, salvation, conversion, or sanctification will admit that before they experience the great change of consciousness represented by these names, they had been convicted of sin or had determined to give up the ways of the world and do the will of God, right? Quote unquote. The sinners most open to reform or change are those who sin in the flesh. The hardest to reach are the self-satisfied moralists or religious. Jesus said to such, so people that are holier than thou, right? Those are the hardest people to change. So verily I say unto you that the publicans and the harlots go into the kingdom of God before you. One who was living up to man-made morals or religious standards is not repentant. And he makes no room in his mind for new, higher ideals of life and truth. You think you know everything. You can't be told anything. Remember, right? You're supposed to be always a student, right? You're supposed to remain a student, right? Unless our repentance is accompanied by sacrifice, we are still in our sins. Apart from shedding of blood, there is no remission. The blood represents the life. And when the life of the flesh is given up, the beasts of the body are literally killed, and their blood or life carries away the dead cells. So, right, our struggle is with our carnal self, right? Ever since we came out the womb and we become conscious, we got contaminated by the world that we live in. It contaminated us. So we learned to ascend to fight the carnal self. That's where we're at in our life right now. This community. If you come into the Moorish paradigm, you've come to that conclusion that what I just said, right? So now the goal is self-mastery, Islam. I, self, law, and master, right? This was symbolically illustrated by Jesus when he sent the demons or devil or evils into the swine. And that's a quote from Matthew 8:32. A change of mind affects the corresponding change in the body. Thoughts control your body, right? If the thoughts are a change of mind, if the thoughts are lifted up, the whole organism is raised to higher rates of vibration. You change your thoughts, you change the vibration of your thoughts, you change your whole vibration in total. If the system has been burned with congestion of any kind, a higher life energy will set in into the universal freedom. But there must be a renunciation or letting go of old thoughts before the new can find place in the consciousness. This is the physiological law, psychological law, which has its outer expression in the intricate eliminative functions of the body. As the physiologist studies the body, so the metaphysician studies the mind. It is true that some metaphysicians are not careful students. They often jump into conclusions, just as the ancient physiologists made wild guesses about the character of the bodily organs. But the majority of those who work with the inner forces get an understanding that conforms and fundamental to the discoveries of other metaphysicians in the same field work. Now, what I highlighted, the careful modern metaphysician does not arrive at his conclusions through speculation. Go back to the lessons, Noble Joe Ali. Man know not by being told. All right. All those who go deep into the study of the mind agree perfectly on fundamentals, one of which is that the universe originated in the mind. These are Hermetic principles. And we talked about last week, Abraham studied from Tahuti, Thoth. So these are principles of keeping the covenant. Most Christians, most Muslims, right? That's their guy, Abraham. Self-analysis reveals. Hold on, I gotta go get. I can't assume everybody know about the seven Hermetic principles. Man, the universe is mind, or everything originated in the mind is one of the Hermetic principles. I want to say that I can't just assume. So self-analysis reveals the manner in which the individual mind acts, and this action is the key to all action in the small and the great, the microcosm and the microcosm, in the man and in God. Self-analysis. Understand what's going on within so you can decide what actions to take for correction, etc. Whatever you need to do. See what's going on. What elements you need to be around. Thoughts have a four-dimensional capacity, while things have but three, right? Three-dimensional. Carnal things are three-dimensional. 3D. But your thoughts are four-dimensional. Thoughts must be digested in a manner similar to the way in which food is digested. An eagerness to gain knowledge without proper digestion. Hold on, let me rewind that one. Hold on. An eagerness to gain knowledge without proper digestion and assimilation ends in mental congestion. The mind, like the bowels, should be open and free. That's heavy right
So,
there.
so what would that mean, Mom? That mean like everything you want to study ain't good for you? Is that what you're saying?
You just might not be ready to receive it. Like you wouldn't give an infant meat. You wouldn't give an infant solid food until he's ready to handle it, or his stomach definitely gonna hurt.
Damn,
Um,
that's deep, bro. That's deep.
you know,
Or a way I took it as well is like some of the information or certain information you got to chew a little more. So like you ain't just gonna get it once you read it once. You might have to marinate with other people on it and really, really digest it before it hits you.
Yep. Yep,
Hey,
that
hey,
too.
Mom, could you read that? Could you read that last quote over again, please?
Okay. It said thoughts must be digested in a manner similar to the way in which food is digested. An eagerness to gain knowledge without proper digestion and assimilation ends in mental congestion. The mind, like the bowels, should be open and free. Right.
Wow.
Oh, let me
So,
piggyback off of that real quick. That's
oh yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Um, I think also how I see it too is we live in, the information age right now with social media and the internet and everything, and how we can kind of like take in so much information to where we really can't decipher what is necessary right now for, our present. It's like sort of like fast food. You're just eating a bunch of garbage, and over time it just kills your body in a way. And I feel like we're in an age where we're just consuming so much information, whether it be from sports, entertainment, etc. Like we have so much information that it's like kind of like an overload in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Islam.
Wow. Yep.
Islam, bro. I like that. It's basically like trying to stuff 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound bag, basically. I get
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I like
man.
what he said too because it's
I
like
ain't trying to
it's
make
like a
no joke,
microwave
Mom, but
age.
yeah, I get it. I get it, bro.
I feel
There's
you.
more science gonna sit on you, man. It's gonna feed you, but a lot of information is just microwave food, fast food. It's gonna go right through you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, even tempered. I highlighted even tempered. That's key. You know, cleansing work that frees the mind from ego. You have to kill the ego. That's another thing. That's another aspect. When you kill off your ego to the point, the ego's not bad. It's just when you're exclusively in that realm, it comes off as cocky. Ego is good to achieve things because you need to feel good about yourself to do X, Y, Z. So it's not, but you know, you should always be in a student mind frame. When somebody's telling you something, a stranger coming up to you presenting something, you shouldn't just off top be like, man, I heard that already. Nothing you saying can do nothing for me. You know, now you get kind of closed minded, and some jewels that could have been for you, you're not receiving them, right? Um, so a healthy state of mind is attained and continued when the thinker willingly lets go of old thoughts and takes on a new. So you got to be willing to do that. When you hear something that makes sense and you could have looked at it different, humble yourself, be like, you know what? I ain't thought about it like that. You right. Right. Or you could be like, man, bye, whatever. It's I think that was all I wanted to highlight in this section, but that's what stood out to me on this chapter dealing with renunciation. And this is a continuation with the 12 powers of man, which is a book that's taking aspects of the Bible and talking about it in a metaphysical way. This brother took the 12 tribes of Israel um, and 12 chambers in the body, the 12 glands in the body, for example of what I mean by that. This is also the author of the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary um, as well. It's a whole dictionary where you can, get the metaphysical meanings and expressions. Because when they have parables in the Bible, etc., there's a lot of things going on. It's not just its face value as people may think. Just wanted to highlight that. Whoever this is the first time, if somebody heard about this book for the first time, check it out. 12 Powers of Man. So let's get into where we left off with.
Wait, so that's kind of like saying like renewing your mind, not having like thoughts, like dual thoughts. Is that what that pretty much was summing up?
They're kind of like the premise of getting baptized.
Yeah, like
You know.
to renew your thoughts, you gotta let go of your old thoughts.
Yeah.
Like you gotta renew your mind
Mhm.
because if you keep everything, it's too much. It's gonna like interfere.
Yeah. Especially if it doesn't serve you. If you have thoughts that are not good for you, and then you can introduce with another way of thinking that is clearly better. Um, you got to humble yourself and roll with that. Don't get so stuck where you just stubborn, you know. But on the flip side, it may be information that's new, but it's not necessarily something that's for you. You got to discern that too. So it's not just use discernment. And that's why we're not just for carnal beings. We're spiritual. We're intuitive. We could feel. It may be brand new information that you may not know about, but you may feel good about certain aspects of what you heard. Like, you know what, that resonated with me. I'm gonna go research a little more, but I like, I feel a good vibe from this brother or sister or whatever. You know what I mean? And then you just go research just to further confirm. But you know what I mean? It's a lot of different senses that could be touched. Oh, yeah, I think it's chapter 19 or just 21. So I'm gonna read a chapter from yeah, 21. That's where we left off. Chapter 21, Silent Brotherhood of the East. Before we close out here in prayer. So where Yahshua up to now? We're on chapter 21. He done passed all these lessons, all these tests. Now what we got going on here? So the work of Yahshua. Oh, everybody got. Oh no, here's probably. So the work of Yahshua was done, and now he must go to teach the sons of man. And in the temple he stood and said, "The Son of Man has come to bring the light of life." And all the brothers stood and said, "This is a royal day for all the hosts of the earth. For salvation has come to all the children of men. 6 times before the bar, 6 times a conqueror." And then one said to Yahshua, "Brother man, most excellent of men, in all the temple tests, you have won out. Upon your brow I place this diadem." And that's like the diamond you see the from Prophet Noble Jew Ali or most people put on, on a turban, a diadem. So upon your brow I place this diadem, and in the great assembly of all the world in heaven, you are the mastermind of all. Now man can do no more, but Allah himself will speak and confirm your title. Go your way and teach peace on earth, goodwill to man. And while the Hierophant or high priest or yet spoke, the temple bells rang in love, and the Logos journeyed on his way, a conqueror. So that was a nice, short, and sweet chapter. Background on how before we got to chapter 21, like I said, he mastered a variety of tests on the previous chapters, and he arrived to this place right here. Like we spoke about earlier, no man can give this title. You know, this is something that's ordained. Um, it's kind of like when you get the Ali title. Nobody, ideally, you're not going to call yourself Ali. The people will bestow Ali on you for your works. For your works, the universe will bestow these titles on you for your good deeds, getting the light out there. So I'm going to close out in prayer. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, through the Holy Prophet, individual Ali, Islam. So I'm gonna stop the recording and then see where everybody's at here.